What's going on, guys? I'm back with another one. And I just watched a movie called Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins, starring Henry Golden, Samara Weaving, my girl, and Andrew Kochi. First of all, let's do a history lesson on the G.I. Joe franchise. Alright. This all started with the toy line, just like any other popular 80s cartoon. You know, for us 80s babies, we know what's up. Yeah, that's always happened. We know. So after the toy line came out, a lot of people don't know that in 1982, the comic book was released for this before the cartoon. All right. So there's that, and so the cartoon was the one that really brought them out and got the attention of kids and everybody everywhere. Then eons and years later, finally the live action G.I. Joe movie came out. G.I. Joe Rise of the Cobra, or Cobra. Now this movie was mostly fun for me. There was a lot of action, of course. It's G.I. Joe, what do you think? Also, it was just a nostalgic thing. It takes you back, it's memories of the cartoon and so what and forth, whatever, right? And then so they thought they could put a part 2 out a couple of years later. G.I. Joe Retaliation. I don't even think that I watched the entire movie. I didn't. I actually did not watch the entire movie on this one. For some reason, I just got halfway through it, and I was like, no, I'm good. I can't do this. I can't do this. Something lost me with that movie. I wasn't feeling it. Okay? And so now, we have Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins. They're trying to do something that X-Men did, all right, and succeeded at for the most part. So my question is, will Snake Eyes be the rebirth of the G.I. Joe franchise? We're about to find out. Let's go. Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins. For those who don't know, for those who are not aware, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear any of that. Because when you hear that song by Kendrick Lamar, I don't even know what he was saying. How about go? I don't know what the hell he was saying there. But even if you don't look at the screen when this trailer comes on, you know what movie they're showcasing. Okay, they're promoting. So don't play. Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins. Pretty much, this doesn't need a lot of explanation. Right here, you know it. This is telling how Snake Eyes got his start. What made Snake Eyes who he is today. He starts off, there was a loss within his past. I don't want to speak too much on that because, and he has a revenge plot. He's on a path of revenge. He bumps into his future feud buddy, Shadow Storm. Shadow Storm shows him the ways of his clan, and then some wires get crossed along the way with this whole situation, and here becomes the movie. All right. First positive with this. The action in here was, of course, one of the most intriguing things. Not the most, but second in this movie. And of course they're going to have that in here. This is a G.I. Joe movie. They had this in the other ones. Okay, this was a strong point for the other ones, really. But my thing with this, there were really certain parts and scenes and characters that portrayed this the most. The character, there's an old lady in here. I cannot remember her name. She's like the grandmother of Shadowstorm's clan. She's a grandmother of this clan. And her fight scenes are some of the best, one of the best solo fight scenes of a character I've ever seen in this movie, that I saw in this movie. Because she has a weapon that is used for close-up battle. And so she can't help but be in their face when she's doing this. It looks impressive for someone her age to be moving like this. Okay, so I love that part. Also, once it gets towards the end, that's where the action really picks up. So of course it's getting ready for that final battle, and it doesn't disappoint. Let's put it like that. It doesn't disappoint. Without saying too much, it doesn't disappoint me. All right. It just, in the beginning, it might take a little bit of a. We're gonna get into that a little later on. All right. Second positive for this. This movie had a solid storyline, and I'm not saying it was the best or the most original storyline in the world, but when you think about it and what Snake Eyes, witnessed as a young, kid, you understand why he's on the mission that he's on. All right, you kind of feel what's going on in his head. Like, I don't really have a past, and what I remember of it is negative. Just negative stuff that I don't even understand what's going on. All right, so I understood the plot. All right. For my last positive with this is the most important one. This is the most important one that really got me for this movie. The dispute or ever ongoing feud between Snake Eyes and Shadowstorm. And this is telling how it all started. Now what I must do is, if you have never seen a G.I. Joe cartoon or movie ever, fast forward to the positives right now. I don't even know why you're watching this, but fast forward to the positives right now, please. Thank you. Yes, we all know that Snake Eyes and Shadowstorm never liked each other from the beginning of time. So this explains why. Let's just say that Snake Eyes does something that seems a little crappy. It would seem a little crappy to a lot of people. It did to me too. It pissed me off a little bit. But it was just Snake Eyes being a ninja. Just doing what ninjas do. That's the only excuse I can give for that. Okay? But, it pisses Shadowstorm off to the point where he's like, okay, bro, I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you did this. I'm done with you, bro. I'm done with you. It's on. And it's an interesting dynamic because we all know Shadowstorm as the villain, and we know Snake Eyes as the good ninja, right? This really turns and flips things around for a lot of people when they watch this. It did for me. It made me think, whose side should I be on? You have to watch to find out why some would think like this. All right, now let's get to those negatives. First negative I gotta point out, the acting. Now, I don't know what it is about these toy-based, cartoon-based live-action movies, but every actor, no matter if they're a good actor or not, they feel like they have to have this stale, stiff, robotical acting when they do movies like this. That's not true. You don't have to do that. That was a cartoon. You don't have to try to get it to be like the cartoon with your acting. You're humans. Make this more realistic, more emotion, more organic with your acting, man, than what you did. Everybody on the cast. Maybe Henry Golding did a decent job. There was a girl in there named Kiko. She was okay. And I think there's a part with Andrew Koji at the end, you know, Shadowstorm. He surprised me with that. That was some part at the end of the movie. It's the last scene. He surprised me. But other than that, everybody else was just complete garbage. Okay? Now, another negative. A couple of decisions made in this movie were just the worst. Let's just say for once, there's an artifact, a powerful artifact, that can do a lot of damage in the wrong hands. This artifact gets in the wrong hands. I'm not going to say whose hand it gets in. It gets in the wrong hands. And they had the chance to just end the movie right there. Really, anybody's hand that this artifact got into had a chance to really end the movie right there. But they chose not to. It was like a long pause of decision. Like, it really didn't have to make a lot of decisions. Just do it. Just do it. Stop that. There was no reason for them not to do it. That really irked me. And plus, there's a training montage, of course. Now, Snake Eyes has to get the training, right? There's a training where they hold water while they fight. Bowls of water. They cannot drop these bowls. It definitely looks like Snake Eyes failed that a lot of times. But maybe it's something I missed. But they somehow act like he passed that. How did he pass that? Could someone explain this to me? Now, I was falling asleep in this a lot. We'll get to that in a minute. But still, I cannot put together where he passed this lesson. Okay? Another negative for this. There is, like I said earlier, an immense amount of drag time, especially in the beginning of this film. Okay? I found myself falling asleep almost constantly. Not enough to where I didn't understand or missed so much in the movie. I didn't really miss a lot, but it was like I said, I had to snap myself up, like, or shake my head, like, ugh. And I don't know if I was tired or if it was just because this movie took so long between action scenes until that ending, that end part, that last act. Okay, I can't figure it out. But that's not good. A lot of drag time is not good. Last negative I'm going to put here. And this is the most important negative in the movie. And I'm going to note. The CGI was downright horrible. It was bad. It was I don't know how many words I can phrase for this, or I can say for this. Okay, it was atrocious. It was atrocious. Let's just say that there's a snake scene in here, like large snakes, like, you know, overgrown snakes, and they did a terrible job with these snakes. Now, even Anaconda looked better. And I can watch Anaconda right now and see a lot of flaws with that as well, because we came so far as technology. But even Anaconda was more impressive than the CGI that they used for these snakes in this movie. They should have just left that part out. If you can't do a better job, you have the money. Your studio has the money. Stop playing. You have the money. It's been years. Why did you do this like that? That was horrible. That was so bad. That was so bad, man. I don't... It was cringe. It was complete cringe, and I could not watch when those snakes came out. I just shook my head like, And not because I was frightened, because I was disgusted at the quality of that CGI. Okay, it was bad. And for this situation and this reason, that kind of gave it the, well, not just that, an aight cool. Alright? It was an aight cool for me. I think it was just me wanting to see one of my favorite characters in this franchise have his own thing going. Just like the Wolverine situation. Okay? He was Snake Eyes is one of the best in origin and stats, everything. Okay, and I had to see it. That really did it for me. And the action and the dynamic between Shadow Storm and Snake Eyes was actually just very cool. Okay, how they broke that down. Other than that, yo, what? I want you to share this, press that like button, and subscribe if you haven't.